See, it's turning around. Date there, what is it? 251. 31st of the 5th to 2021. Just want to give a shout out to all new subscribers. Thanks guys, really appreciate that. So I had lots of replies after that particular video there, writing on the wall. Do appreciate everyone giving me their thoughts on that. I give you all my email there, and I kind of got flooded with a few more messages than I expected. So I really do appreciate that. Yeah, do appreciate that. Just a couple of things while I'm on that video. At the 10:47 mark and the 57:12 mark, I got mucked up the difference there between the fact and the fiction, so just be aware of that. I got that back to front at the time, so I just wanted to point that out to you. And also I'll just give a quick shout out to a few other websites out there. Well, I'll just turn you around. There we go. So as you know, we're on Facebook now, so that's my page there. I just wanted to emphasise that fact there too, folks. You know, public service announcement to all truth warriors. Don't be afraid to send friend requests to people you have a lot of mutual friends with. We all need to stick together and promote the path of light rather than the agenda of dark. I just want to give you that one there. So there's my name on Facebook. A couple other shout outs here was the Truth and Freedom New Zealand page there. Go and join that. Get involved with Bob, who actually is doing a live tonight too. If you're in the hood, you can chime into that as well. That was on the other group there was Freedom Reclaiming Sovereigns. And actually one other group there I want to put you on to. Wait a minute, there is this group here. So get out and check them out. That's the Common Law Association New Zealand page. So you can check that one out as well. So I think that's the only few things. So share all this stuff around, guys. It's sharing's caring, as they say, as we know. And as usual, I'm just going to give you the caveat emptor. Caveat emptor means, it's Latin, buyer beware. Normally put buyer beware, and I'll give you an example. Like if I tell you this lemon I've got's the most beautiful apple in the world, and you buy it, whip out the road there and taste it and find out it's a lemon rather than the apple, then you end up with a sour taste in your mouth, then buyer beware. Most people would concur with that. The other way the old Romans put it was, let those that be deceived be deceived. Okay, let those that be deceived be deceived. So that's the other way it's put. It means the same thing. It means that you must, you know, it's up to you what you buy and what you take on. That includes everything I tell you and everything I say and everything anybody else ever tells you on the internet and on YouTube. You've got to use your own nous and your own discernment. You've got to use your own discernment. It's extremely important. You know, and you've got to pick your battles as well. Don't go taking on the big battles all on your own. We're out there as a team. The team of 5 million, according to the leader. But anyway, so I just wanted to get on and say thanks to everyone for getting on my YouTube and sharing that about. Really do appreciate it. So yeah, there was a few questions that came back from that, and I started putting something together, but kind of ran out of time here. But a couple of things I'll just show you here. See, this is about authority, people. Being authors, being the author of your rights, author of the writ. That's where we get the word authority from. See, authority is an illusion of a deceased psyche. Oh, sorry, let me start again there. Authority is an illusion of a diseased psyche, based entirely in violence and built upon the erroneous and dogmatic axiomatic belief that some people are masters who have the moral right to rule others, while others are slaves who have a moral obligation to obey the masters. Okay, we've got to clearly define what's going on here. Imagine being forced into a religion you can't opt out of. And it's what government is, folks. It's a belief in that authority under the master called government. That's why they have ministers, okay? You go voting for the ministers. So just be wary of that. I want you to be very, very aware of that. Now, I'm not out here to spread any negative stuff. I'm not trying to create fear. That was the furthest thing from my mind in the last video. My whole intentions were to emphasize the necessity of being aware of threats. And that, as sovereigns, as we call ourselves, and people who want to be free, that entails the responsibility of being aware. And we have obligations. We have an obligation to hand to those who aren't yet here a better condition than what we got when we arrived here. That is our obligation, folks. Okay? And we've got a common enemy at the moment. And as with these SNAs that I talked about in the last video, as you know, it's a land grab, and we are the land, because we came from the earth, the dust, and so to the dust we shall return. So everything out there is about vibration, folks. So I wasn't trying to create any vibrations of fear. This one here, nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. At the most fundamental level, the universe and everything which comprises it is purely vibratory energy, manifesting itself in different ways. The universe has no solidity as such. Matter is merely energy in a state of vibration. Now that's pretty much what we would call a fundamental truth. Okay, there are fundamental truths, and that is one of them. Okay, I want to just, you know, let you be aware that there's a second wave coming, folks, and it's us. It's us awakening and realising. So let's prepare for the second wave, eh? That's what we are. And so you guys out there, you guys are all the, you guys are the ground team, if you like. You guys are the ground team out there. So I realise this one. So we've got to realise with our real eyes and realise the real lies. Okay, that's what that's all about. And so we're getting ready for this mass awakening, folks, and you're it. So we've got to waken up. Now there's ways and means of doing this, and we just keep working away at it, and that's what we're doing, because the system is cracking, folks. They're concerned, because we're coming with the truth. And the truth will dissolve their fictions any day of the week. Because fact overrides fiction any day of the week, folks. Okay, so I put together this little thing here. There was a couple of questions here. Now, you might have seen my post on my page, Maoris own the land. Some people were saying to me, no one owns the land, folks. We've got to get that through our heads really, really clear. Nobody owns the land. But we have obligations to the land. We gain our sustenance from the land. We are the land. We're nothing without it. We've got to realise that we're all kaitiaki of it. We're all supposed to be taking care of it. Because the more care we take of Papatuanuku, the more we're going to thrive. I mean, that's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer. And you know, that's non-negotiable fact, folks. So nobody owns the land. Not the white man, not the black man, not the brown man, not the yellow man. No man owns the land, folks. Because, and like, you know, we say that, oh, you know, the Maoris were here first, or someone else was here before them, and da-da-da-da-da. It doesn't matter, folks, because we're on an island. We're on an island, folks. You know, we all came here by boat. So let's level the playing field a wee bit, you know. Let's get down to a bit of fact. And put things in perspective. So that's that. So that's all I've really got to say about that. And like, you know, because the Pope and the minions of that faction, they came here with their doctrines of discovery, wasn't it? You know, who because you found it first, it's yours. that is laughable, folks. Get real. You know, you can write up as many paper, you can get together with a bigger group as you want, with as much weapons as you want, and write all sorts of pieces of paper, titles, as many as you like. They don't hold any weight, folks. Just because you hold the biggest stick don't make it right. That's the other thing about democracy. We really need to start questioning the what we call democracy in this country. Because ultimately, you know, it's 49% being ruled by the other 51. That means you've got 49% of the people are unhappy. That you know, that's a recipe for division by design. And I think it was Karl Marx, who said, you know, the oppressed are allowed every few years to choose which of the oppressors shall I oppress and repress them for the next few years. So we're constantly being oppressed and repressed, folks. Okay? It's about time we started getting over it. And so there's remedies there. There were remedies that were touched upon in that last video I did. The writing's on the wall. And the writing is on the wall, folks. It really is. And it wasn't there to instill any fear. And I hope I gave you a little bit of remedy in that. And for those who had a lot of questions and I redirected you, go and have a look at some of the other videos on my page there. Because it will help you to understand the depth of the volume of the waters, the muddy, murky waters that they've got us all drowning in, folks. And I'll just let my little doggy out here. There's my little shitty. So we've got to really comprehend and start realising that we're all on the same waka ultimately, folks. We all want the same things. And all religions, at their core, expound upon the same things. Espouse upon and expand upon. So we've got to realise what's going on here, folks. And we've got to realise that we're dealing with language that's duplicit, divisive, with anxiety and negativity and commerce built into it by design. Okay? And it's construct. Okay, it's all fiction. It's all fiction, folks. So I'm going to post this. So one of the other questions I got was, why must they tell us what they're doing? And it's just the same as that buyer beware. You know, I can use all sorts of lovely, flowery language to tell you that I'm coming round your house, I'm eating all the food in your fridge, I might sleep in your bed tonight, I might watch your TV and use your jacuzzi or whatever it is, and then I'm gonna load your car up with your stereo and your TV and a bit of your food, and I'm off. See you later. But you don't comprehend what it is I'm telling you because I'm using such lovely flowery language, and that's what they do. They dupe us with the language. And it's all about casting spells. That's what they're doing. You know, they're getting us into a state of the dead, actually. It's a language of the dead, folks. It's divisive by its nature. It's mind control and hypnotism at its core. Because if you don't mind, it won't matter, eh? But anyway. So, you know, and they tell us exactly what they're doing. Because the word government means mind control. Parliament is house of lies. They call them ministers and candidates, and it's all a party, and you go out there and voting for it. And it's a system built on failure anyway, because it was Churchill that said the biggest argument against democracy is a 5-minute conversation with the average voter on the street. Think about that. And it's true. The average voter on the street's got no idea what's going on. We're not told about what our politicians are doing, what deals they're doing. People got no idea. And they're on a state of head down, bum up, in a system that's designed to rape them at every corner they turn. I mean, come on. And they're telling you what they're doing. This is why it's buyer beware. And this is how they tell us what they're doing. They tell us exactly what they're doing. I mean, they call it a tax, folks. They call it a tax. And it's in land revenue, you see. They're attacking the land. You are the land. And they revenue it. they revenue it into the waters, into that muddy waters of the contracts of the sea, where it's voluminous. It's voluminous, and it's measured in fathoms. That's why it's unfathomable, those leagues, the leg of the sea, the legacy. That's what they're doing. They're telling you what they're doing. See, they've taken, because we are of the earth. We're born of the earth. We're the land, folks. That's why we birth. We be the earth. And art is in there too, because we're part of the creation, part of the breath. They're telling us what they're doing. They're telling us what's going on, and it's right in front of our faces. So we need to wake up to this, because it's spelling, folks, and it's magic. Okay, another question I got was, how can ignorance of the law be no excuse? How can I know the law? Well, see, this is the other thing, that, you know, that there's a maxim that ignorance of the law is no excuse. But it's this law here that they're talking about, which is the legalese. And it's like Chinese or Japanese or chimpanzees. It's unfathomable, folks. It's colour of law. Okay? Whereas this law over here, the Ten Commandments, the common law, that one's a Freemason Bible, not that I'm a Mason, or would ever proudly admit to being a Mason or associated with them in any way, myself, personally. But the laws are simple. The law is simple, and ignorance of that law is no excuse, because it's inherent. It's in here, folks. Don't kill. I don't want to kill anybody. Don't steal. I don't want to steal anybody's shit. I don't want anyone stealing my shit. I'm going to help you get shit. And don't deceive. Which ultimately, that is what it comes down to. Do not deceive. Okay, and that's including yourself, others, anybody. And you know, do not deceive. It means responsibility, folks. It means picking up a little bit of knowledge and a little bit of understanding. See, it takes the ability to be able to respond. And and we need to speak up. The responsibility of us to speak up is getting paramount. And that's sound at its peak is to speak. And then you're in voice. And then you've got energy and motion, you see. You've got energy and motion. That's how that works. And voice is music, which is a sound, which is a note. And the sound is, you know, it rings true, doesn't it, the sound? So this is what's going on. So that's why, you know, ignorance of the law is no excuse. It's not this stuff here they're talking about. It's this stuff here in the Bible, folks. It's the Bible stuff. You know, biblical. It's the Bible and the you know, any religions, they all speak of the same things. They all want the same things, don't they? Peace and harmony. It's funny how they can't quite get it. Because they're commercial entities, folks. They're denominations. It's back into the seas of commerce again. Into the sea of commerce, folk. Into the mercy. Into the mercy. The waters, the murky waters of liquidity. Where you're being liquidated and made insolvent. Your vessel out on the high seas of commerce is getting liquidated. That's what's happening. And that's why they can just come onto the land with their pieces of paper, because you have already consented to the contracts through ignorance, but through deceit, but let alone, you know, they're telling you right in front of your face what they're doing. Buyer beware, folks. Let those that be deceived be deceived. Okay? So the onus is on that guy in the mirror, or that girl in the mirror, those kings and queens in the mirror. The onus is on them. Due diligence, folks. That's what responsibility is. That's what responsibility is. Due diligence, and that's respect. Inspect is to look again, not as a spectator, as the inspector. with a perspective, with an aspect, with a whole spectrum of things. And that's doing your research. That's re-sea arching your ark, your vessel on the sea. People, this is what's going on. And they're liquidating your vessels because you're open for salvage. That's how it works. So it's all condoned by you, because the con has been done, and they've conned one and all by the contracts. Ask any female about contracts and birth, and they'll tell you they're painful. Those contractions. That's what's going on. So you need remedy. So that's why ignorance of the law is no excuse. How can I know? Well, it's pretty simple. It's pretty simple stuff. So I've got here, I started putting together here, but I ran out of time a wee bit, but I've got some things to do. But notice, this is what we need to do. Part of the remedy is to present our position. To posit something is to forward something, to move forward. And we all want to be positive about these things. So as sovereigns, we walk with open hands and open minds and open hearts. But we're not stupid, okay? We still keep up our due diligence and our discernments, because that's part of who and what we are. Okay, this is a notice to the cease and desist. And you can start presenting these. I'll put these up on my Facebook page and whatnot, but you can hopefully see them now. I'll read through now. So this is to the receiver. So it's I, as a concerned member of the community, in accordance with love and compassion and no ill will, and of sound mind, standing beside and with the people, do hereby inform you, we have had enough. We've had enough of failed promises. We've had enough of being ignored. We've had enough of not being given binding referendums on decisions that affect us all. We've had enough of unchecked banking loans indebting future generations under the shackles of unpayable debt and ultimate slavery. We've had enough of scaremongering tactics and fear-based government-controlled media and all its minions, lies and propaganda. We've had enough of regulations strangling and handicapping all the many aspects of our ability to thrive in happy, healthy environments and communities. We've had enough of the suicides. We've had enough of the land grabs. We've had enough of the politicians and the system, and are therefore determined to pull the reins of the power of government in and put them back into the hands of the people on the land for the benefit and administration of all, while upholding and maintaining the rights of all individuals. This being the case, you are now officially noticed that I am hereby officially terminating all assumed and presumed contractual agreements, liabilities and obligations. 10 days from the date of this 10 days from the date of this notice, or we'll give them whatever time you want, man, but give them short notice. Notice unless and until you cease and desist all of the following: poisoning of the whenua, including but not limited to 1080 and Brodifacoum operations. 2. COVID vaccination rollout. 3. Threats of any future lockdowns for any reason. 4. Social distancing protocols and directives. 5. Contact track and tracing applications. 6. Blocking access to plant-based medicines and all their forms. 7. Borrowing any more finance from foreign institutions. 8. Immigration of refugees. Stop immigration of refugees. I'll put halt. We've got to stop people coming into this country, mate. The government's bringing in people to divide and conquer. We can't have it. To halt all immigration of refugees until all people of the land are housed. Okay, there's only 8 there, but I'll continue finishing this after. I just wanted to get this out to you people, because there's a few people getting concerned. Oh, what do we do? Da, da, da. You've got to give them notice. So this is it, mate. You give them notice. You give them 10 days and say, right, these are my terms and conditions. And we get people in numbers starting to do this, folks. I mean, you're instantly pulling away their ability of their contracts to have effect upon you, okay? You're giving them your contract. Okay, this is your contract with your terms and conditions, because we're on the land and we draw our lines in the sand and we make them very clear. And we can do this, folks. This is you drawing your lines in the sand, presenting your contract to the government instead of them presenting their contracts to you. These are with your terms and conditions, so I want you to share this about. I'll finish it up a wee bit, put a few more things in there, a couple of caveats, but add a few things to it, put things on it, and get it out there. This is the... this is part of the remedy. We've just got to start doing to them what they do to us. It's not do unto you as you'd be done by, folks. It's do unto others as they would do unto you. Okay? Start doing unto others as they do unto you. So this government dead entity corporation, that's right, a couple of people got a bit confused about that too. Actually, so corporation was a corpse, is a corpse speaking. Corporation, see, in Latin it's two words. Oration is to speak and corpse is a dead entity. A corpse, it's dead, it's an entity dead, so it's a dead entity speaking. So it's an artificial contract. Okay, so that was that for just for a couple of people. I hope I haven't missed out anything too much there. So yeah, just giving them the above are to be announced accordingly on mainstream media news outlets within the period allotted, which was 10 days, confirming and affirming that this has been done. These terms are not negotiable, and so you can notify all your government agencies, ministers and agents, as many as possible, because you're the ground crew now. You guys are on board. You can put your power to pen to power. Your pen can be mightier than the sword. In numbers. Just give them notice. It's as simple as that, folks. Give them notice with terms and conditions of them to cease and desist. They've got to cease and desist poisoning our environment. They've got to cease and desist teaching 5-year-olds masturbation in our schools. They've got to cease and desist threatening the public with jab, no jab this, no jab that, no do this, no do that. They've got to stop threatening us. And we need to start putting our terms and conditions very firmly with pen on paper and start, or even just emailing. Electronic, mate, that's all we got to do. Do the stuff electronically, copy, paste it, whack your name in there. Better than pen and paper though, because you can put your autograph to these things. And ink on the paper is pretty powerful stuff. But anyway, we do have these modes of communication these days. And this is the other thing too, folks. You've got the power of witness in your hand. You have the witnesses in your hand. The very thing that you could be looking at me at right now, because I'm filming this at the moment on a phone, and that is your third witness. And you need to be getting that phone out in every interaction with government agents. And you need to be putting these notices in front of their faces and informing them. Because once they're informed and they breach it, then they're liable for the terms and conditions. And that can be sorted out in due course. So this is it, with these significant natural areas, this is a land grab. They're coming to get the land. They've told you what we're doing. We are the land. I hope I've established that, because we're all beings of the earth. So, yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. Any more questions? Go and check out some of my other videos, because I do rabble on a wee bit, but hopefully I'll get across to you that the power of words are extremely important. And this is how they're duping us. This is how they're getting us into artificial contracts and constructs that are, and they're putting, threats in behind them. Oh, if you don't do this, you'll be fined that much, and you'll go to jail for this long, and it's all fear. It's a fear-based system, people. Once you challenge it, it's like the big bully. Once you challenge the big bully, once you pour a bit of truth into his delusions and illusions, they dissolve very quickly. And then we can do this so easily, folks. Really, peacefully, open-handed, lovingly, passionately, but humbly as well. Which is, all things we're all working on. I'm not perfect, don't make no bones about it. I'm a Gemini fire horse, and, such as it is. But, yeah, so you guys are you guys are the ground crew out there now. And so it's up to you guys. So, yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. Spread this around. Spread your truth. Start speaking out for people. Be in voice. And let's start putting our terms and conditions back to them. Because we win. We win this game. It's very easy. Very, very easy. And that money, start sorting that money out too, folks. Actually, that's another aspect I've got to put in here. We will be withdrawing. Oh no, I didn't. I did cover that. Money's the Achilles heel of the system, mate. You get in there and you start drawing all the money out of your bank and you start putting it into assets, folks. Assets for getting ready for lockdowns, getting ready for power cuts, getting ready for that stuff, because it's real and it's happening, and that's a very real threat. That's a fact, folks. And facts are incredibly empowering, but they can be incredibly dangerous. That's why we need that ability to be able to respond and to be able to handle those facts. Unearned wisdom is dangerous, and that's why some people running away wildly with these allodial titles and that, without due diligence, without uniting, standing together, getting together. People, come on, get together. It doesn't matter about your colour of your skin or your religion or your beliefs anymore. We've got to get over that shit. That's all that divisive stuff that's built into the language. We've got to get back to the language of love and peace and harmony, and getting together and uniting. Once we do that, man, we get common unity, and that's the community. That's what we're all after. Peace. We don't want, 95% of people don't want to kill anybody. We don't want to steal anybody's shit. We don't want to hurt anybody. We just want to be left alone and live our lives and raise our kids in a safe environment and work in a community where other people have the same kind of views. And I think 95% of people do. There's just a few in the barrel there that are, that have got all the money and the tools of manipulation there. We're going to take it back, folks. We're going to take it back. We are the numbers. We've got the numbers. We got it won. She's pretty much all over, in fact, actually. I'll leave it if I can find it. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Shall read you this, because this is where we're at, folks. This is where we're at. I'll leave you with this. So your world has changed, folks. The table has been cleared. The board has been wiped. The fog is lifting. The veils of deception are dissolving, and the celestial bodies are aligning as the lights are turning on. The curtain lifts. You stand on the precipice of one of the greatest shows in the universe, one of the most paradigm-shifting events to be witnessed by everybody. On such a monumental level, it is truly unprecedented, and from which the impacts and repercussions will be felt for many thousands of years, as humanity embraces the increasing frequencies and vibrations of self-realization that will resonate you to the core of your soul and beyond. An opportunity of such profound implications, we could never imagine or see. We are now becoming the true creators of our destiny and a new world with everything in order as we move to the next levels of enlightenment and awareness to degrees beyond our wildest dreams, as we harness the reins and seize the crown. You have first-class tickets, folks, and front row seats. So let's all stand united together in love and spirit and in the fullness of our individual and united souls, and shine brighter than the brightest of stars, shedding our light openly into the corners of our being, and watch the darkness flee as we bring peace to earth. Everything we've been waiting for materializing before our very eyes. Welcome in love and rejoice. You are becoming conscious, folks. Love and light, we win.